Alright, today I'm going to do my 2025 Preseason In the Bag. I'm going to tell you the disc, and then I'm going to walk up and throw the disc so you can see how it flies. There's a slight cross breeze coming this way, so keep that in mind, but without further ado, let's get into it. My putting putters, which I won't throw, but they're these Moonshine Soft Swan 1 Reborns by Westside Disc. Just a low profile straight putter, soft plastic, so I like that. First disc is going to be this Parachute. I always keep a hybrid catch disc in the bag for pre-round catch, but also like spinny little putt bids, so let's give it a throw. Nice easy toss. Let's move on to the throwing putters. I do want to just mention I haven't warmed up. That was the first throw, so I'm sure the throws will get better by the time we get to the drivers. But all right, first throwing putter here is a Neutron Watt. I find that these are super straight. If you really like the glitch, you're really gonna like the Watt because it's a max weight, torque resistant version of the glitch in my opinion. Dead straight, super neutral disc. Let me show you how it flies. I'd say that was pretty accurate. Dead straight. Now, I love that disc, but it glides a lot, so this year I'm going to be working in the Streamline range in this Eclipse plastic. It's pretty straight from what I've thrown so far, but I wanted something that kind of hits and sits a little bit more, so that's where this disc is going to come in handy. Let's try and put this one right by that Watt. Not really by that Watt, but as you can see, just a dead straight flyer. So let's move up in stability. Next we have this Envy. I always have an Envy in the bag. The plastic might change, but just a great straight to stable putter. This one's Cosmic Neutron, and let me show you how it flies. Yep, just straight and then it finishes. Bumping up in stability, we have this beautiful Particle Proton Tempo. New disc for me, obviously it's a pretty new run of them, but it's just like that Envy, a little more stable, and I like it more for the forehands as well as the backhands, so let's get it out there. Yeah, pretty solid. I'll be honest, my form feels really bad right now, but the throws are coming out all right, so it is what it is. If you think my form is bad, just let me know in the comments. I don't care. Let's move up to the mid ranges. I have this really pretty Neutron Detour. Shout out to my buddy Mason. He did this awesome stencil cutout, so where you see the white was a stencil, and then I did the dye on it. And he gave it to me for Christmas, so thanks, dude. This is my understable mid-range, so it's not quite beat in yet, but ideally it should be understable, pretty straight without trying, so let's see if we can do that. Crosswind might not help, but that's all right. Yeah, that crosswind kept it really straight, so it didn't fold over, but typically it will. Next up is probably my favorite disc in the bag. This is a Fission Hex, and it is super beat up, super seasoned in, so really it's just pretty dead straight. Crosswind might tell you otherwise, but trust me when I say that this disc is just a real straight flyer. Very true to what the hex numbers are, that -1-1 turn fade combo. This disc is money, let me show you. And I just find that the hex just like goes far. So to complement that hex, since it's so beat in, I have a newer hex in the bag. I have this Proton one. This one is pretty similar to that, but it has a little more stability at the end of the flight. Yeah, I think those are really close to one another. I kind of ripped it over there, so sorry if I got in the way of the flight, but went straight and finished out. Last mid-range in the bag is this Pyro. Just an overstable mid-range. And yeah, I did this cool dye on it. Was white, but did a cool dye, so let's see how it flies. Nice and overstable. All right, let's bump up. Let's bump up to some fairways. I have this VIP Stag in the bag. This one is super understable. At this point, I've had it in the bag for a few years, and it's just reliably straight to understable. It's a high glide disc, so it tends to go pretty good distance for me. But talk is cheap. Let's throw this thing. So if you could see that held over, and then at the end it kind of flattened out and panned down to the ground, which is really nice in an understable disc. Next up we have a Rhythm. This is my beat up Rhythm. A little more flippy than what a typical Rhythm is going to fly like, but probably my most trusted and most thrown fairway driver. It's neutral without being too flippy or too stable, so I really like it. And let me see if I can show you why. Now, this isn't my wind fighter, obviously. Beat in neutral disc, not a wind fighter, but you know, we're still gonna send it. Shout out to the people on the plane flying it up. Little nose up, but that's okay. I'm not a pro, so you're gonna get what you get. All right, we have another Rhythm. This one's identical weight, same plastic as that other last one. It's just a newer one, so it's gonna have a little bit more stability. Cycling this one in to kind of beat up to be similar to that one. So yeah, let's send it on its way. Not bad. All right, next up we have a Crave. This is a Crave in Eclipse plastic, and it's pretty stable at the end of its flight. Just a straight to stable fairway driver. Specifically, I like this kind of 6.5, 7 speed slot for this. So yeah, give it a throw. Yeah, it just goes a ways and then it falls out of the sky. So great mold, great disc. Let's move up a little bit. We have a Cosmic Neutron Insanity. Insanity is a new mold for me, but I really like that it feels like a little bit faster version of the Rhythm. I think that if you can find a mold that you really like and then find new versions of that mold, or even like a disc that feels like that mold but faster or slower, you should. So that's what the Insanity is for me. It's a pretty straight disc with a little bit of fade at the end. Just a neutral flyer. So let's get it out there. Yeah, just nice and controlled. All right, now the older brother to that Crave is this Wrath. It's a slightly stable, overstable 9-speed, and really it's just kind of a step up from that Crave, a little bit farther. So similar that the Insanity is to what the Rhythm, this is to that Crave, if that makes any sense. But who cares about words and fancy stuff? Let's just throw a Frisbee. Probably like on top of that Crave, honestly. All right, we got a few discs left here, just the distance drivers. Let's start with the most overstable, and we'll save the least stable for the last throw. I bagged this Viking disc Odin. Odin's my son's name, so I kind of like to have this in the bag for, I don't know, luck purposes. But who knows, maybe if he has a bag one day, this will end up in there. Just a Destroyer clone. It's overstable. And yeah, I don't throw it much, but when I do, it does the job. Pretty true to the numbers, slight flip up at the top, but nothing crazy. Next up in stability, kind of working overstable to understable, is this Eclipse Wave. This is just probably my favorite run of waves in the recent past here. Absolutely love this one. It's kind of my workhorse. I think it's understable enough to get a full flight without having a yam on it, but also not too understable where it's a flip up disc only. So let me show you how I throw it. Gosh, that's pretty. All right, speaking of pretty, we have this absolutely gorgeous Trail that I dyed. In my opinion, I think the Trail is just a step less stable than that Wave. So yeah, but newer mold to me. I really like how the 10-speed feels in my hand. I got a buddy, shout out Jordan, I don't think you watch, but shout out. He throws the Trail a country mile, and so I'm riding on his coattails trying to do the same, but let's see. I think as the season goes on, that Trail and the Insanity are probably going to butt heads quite a bit. So we'll see which one ends up kind of winning that spot, but if you could see that, it just went dead straight and then fell a little to the left at the end. So, man, planes are out today. Okay, last disc in the bag. We have this Plasma Wave. This thing is super old. I think I found it when I was in high school about 13 years ago. Probably my flippiest driver. Big distance flip up turning shots with this guy. Some turnovers and stuff, but really it's like a woods carving machine. Absolutely an incredible disc, and if I ever lost it, I would be hurting so bad. Anyways, let's end with a good one. I'm gonna try and smooth this one out there a good ways and then get out of the way so you can see. Not bad, not bad. So those are going to be all the discs in my bag at the start of the 2025 season. I'm going to do a check-in in the middle of the season, and then I'll do another check-in at the end of the season, and we'll see what my bag looks like. But if you have any recommendations, please let me know, especially for a straight shallow putting putter. Looking for one of those potentially. Or if you want to roast my form, please do that as well. And yeah, do all that good YouTube stuff, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks, dude. You rock.